at Pop-Up Crop in Portland, Oregon, and man, this place is really, really cool. The weather today is really cool.
It is.
Yeah, it's very. Actually, I thought it was kind of gray. What do you mean the weather? We can't even see outside. It's just
right now we
concrete.
can't.
We don't
but
even know if outside exists still.
Before we went into the
Could
fallout
be
shelter.
Category 4 hurricane. We would have no idea
That's true.
because this building is so secure.
Either way, we're here courtesy of our friends at Tranter Gray. Those
Yep.
guys are awesome, so thanks for sending us out here. And we are sitting in the hot seat with our brand new friend, Mr. Mark Mendez. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mark to the show.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
I'm excited. I just want to say now I'm excited for this.
Good.
Now?
Yes.
Because of the hand clapping.
No, because when I tell you about the unique ability.
I'm excited.
let's
So,
go.
Mark, why don't
excite you? Okay.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I currently work at a company called Full Screen
Okay.
in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And we're basically, I work on the social agency side. We handle social media campaigns for companies like Fox and Sony and Universal and all kinds of big name stuff.
Awesome.
And my
So a couple
role
mom and pop shots like that.
Yeah, exactly. Those small guys, you
Yeah.
know, they need a voice. So no, I'm a senior illustrator and animator, and yeah, so I basically work on huge social media campaigns. Right now, currently, I work on a lot of the audience network stuff. Mr. Mercedes, which is a really dope show, Condor, and a couple of things like
when
that.
you say animator, are you doing like 3D modeling? Are you doing like?
I'm not to that scope yet.
Okay.
We do have some cats that are on our team that are pretty dope 3D renderers and whatnot, but I haven't reached that point yet. I would like to get to that point.
Sure.
The cool thing about our company is that we're very open to people learning new things.
Yeah.
So I started about almost 4 years ago as a graphic designer. Moved into illustration. I've always been an illustrator, but you know, everyone's a graphic designer first.
Yeah.
And then eventually became an animator, and now I do a lot of motion graphics, and I do a lot of editing, cutting, sound editing, stuff like that. Like basically making mini trailers for new and upcoming stuff. Am I allowed to curse on this? Like,
You
Yeah,
can.
you be you, man.
Yeah.
You do,
All right,
you
perfect.
do you. I'm excited to hear a little bit more about what that looks like for you inside of a social media campaign as an animator. So when you're talking about animation, are you talking about character animation or are you talking about
Motion graphics.
just motion graphics? Okay.
Yeah.
After
So
Effects
imagine, you know, you see the latest trailer, and before that trailer, there's usually what they call like a bumper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
We do a lot of those types of things.
Okay.
Well, we do the bumpers, we animate name cards, we cut and edit a lot of like BTS, like, you know, behind the scenes stuff, and micro videos, texted micro videos, infographics, and
Are you involved on the front end creative of that? So where you're actually developing the campaigns themselves and figuring out the content, or are you just on the execution side?
I am on a little bit of both, not as much as the front end stuff. You know, we're not very client facing as being like the creatives. That's mostly the account side.
Right.
But in the end, you know, we do have a lot of say. We do attend a lot of, you know, creative brainstorming meetings, ideation, stuff like that. So we end up getting our hands in it pretty deep. And, you know, so unfortunately, not as much as I'd like it to be, but, you know, that's the risk of working for a very large agency.
What's your favorite campaign that you've worked on to date?
Man from U.N.C.L.E.
UNCLE or whatever.
We did a lot of really dope shit.
Good film
for that.
too.
Really?
Yeah, like I got to actually illustrate some like pretty cool stuff.
Oh,
and
cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was a really dope campaign.
I was surprised that film didn't get better reviews.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Oh yeah, I think it's one of Guy Ritchie's best films
yeah.
so far.
Okay, so here's the part you're probably dreading, Mark. In that you have, I'm so pumped about this. We asked people to tell us the unique things about them, and yours is I practice celebrity impersonations in the shower.
He read yours to us yesterday, and we got so excited about this.
You know what this means, Mark? You have to actually do a celebrity impression for us.
All the practices for right now.
Andrew will trade you.
He'll spray water on you while you do it if you want.
Yeah.
That helps.
Andrew will trade you impressions, though. So like, if you do one, Andrew will do one as well.
Okay, so who do you do?
We'll
Morgan
just see.
Freeman.
We'll see.
It's only Morgan Freeman.
Jason Statham.
So Breaking Bad is by far my favorite TV show of all time.
Great choice.
Even might be getting a Ralph Steadman tattoo of Brian Cranston as Walter White.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm dedicated
as
enough.
As Heisenberg
As
or
Heisenberg. Well, it's Heisenberg, but he's in the the yellow and
Right.
So he's
the
not.
gas
He doesn't have
mask
like the
and stuff
hat
like
or
that. Doesn't
whatever.
have the
Yeah,
hat,
I gotcha.
but
He's not the one who knocks.
no, not he's the one who cooks.
He's the one who cooks, right?
Yeah. So I've been told I've done this for a few people. I've been told it's decent, but I do a little bit of a Jesse Pinkman.
Let's
Okay,
hear it.
here we
Let's
go.
hear it.
Yo, Mister. Oh God, I can't even do it.
No,
right
that's
now.
really good.
Yeah.
It's
I'm so
already
pumped.
leaps and bounds better than Patrick's actual voice.
Hey, yo, Mr. White. Yeah, bitch. Like,
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Genuinely,
good.
yeah.
That's pretty good. You look a lot like him when you do it too. Like you channel
I've
that.
noticed
so-
that when people do impressions, like they pull,
They-
like,
Yeah, you have to channel the facial,
like Ralph Garman. He was a local DJ on K Rock in Los Angeles. Great guy. I actually got to do some illustration work for him when he
nice.
started his podcast with Kevin Smith.
Okay.
And I saw him do like live impressions, and he does like a really bomb Al Pacino. I'm like, fuck, like this is so good.
Yeah.
Like, I actually saw his face, and he looks like Al Pacino when
Yeah,
he does it.
absolutely.
Like he has that, like like what is this? You know, like
yeah.
Who else can you do? Who else is in your repertoire?
I feel like everyone who does impressions always has the same impressions.
That's
Like
fine.
everyone can do Arnold. Like you know, like
Yeah, I can't.
you can do Arnold.
No.
Try Arnold.
So
Get to the
everybody.
chopper. That's my
Get
best.
to
My
the
best one.
chopper.
Yes.
You gotta like really push those sounds out.
If I do that, I might poop myself though. That's the problem. That's
See,
always been
I've
my
always
issue.
wondered when people do like the face contortions, if they actually look like the person. I've always wondered how much of that is necessary to achieve the voice,
Yeah.
and how much of that is just the added level.
Channeling of the character.
Yeah. Because it makes you wonder, like, if some of those expressions are needed in
Yeah.
order to like get the sound right.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
My Arnold will actually start to turn Scottish. I don't know why.
Just the longer
Get to
you
the
do it-
chopper.
Get to the chopper. Yeah.
Okay, you have to. Morgan Freeman, you have to do it.
I'm Morgan Freeman. That's it. Right? That's
I'm
the best.
when I'm on the spot, it's just like.
But do you do Morgan
fucking
Freeman?
impossible. In the shower, sometimes I do.
What about Jason Statham?
Jason Statham. You got to bring the voice down
he
a
actually
little
sounds
bit.
better than me.
Jason Statham.
That's pretty good. Now say, go see the Meg in theaters now.
No, because nobody should see that movie. So no.
Go see the Meg.
That's
Didn't
really
think
actually
it's
really
way
good.
better than yours.
When we're done with this, can you
we're
do a
friends.
drop for us and say, "This is Jason Statham. You're listening to the Master of One podcast."
That's the key for our show. We
That
just
is
need
the
to get
key.
impersonators.
Yeah, not actual actors.
Yeah. All right, so never talk to us.
I'm Jackson Statham.
Jocelyn, stop them.
20% off. We're fine. We're not reaching any.
So we're gonna play a game real quick. So this show is Master of One podcast. We're each masters of different categories, right? And today you're gonna be the master of your own category. So whatever you flip, you have to tell us something about. So flip a token
shit.
real quick.
You can't be wrong.
In the voice of.
No, it doesn't. Because I'll just end up Scottish.
Calculated randomness.
This is perfect.
To
This
be
is
honest, I
perfect.
think this one's kind of tough. But the idea here is that you don't have a box. So you get to tell us about anything. So this could be related to your work. It doesn't have to be. It could be. You might like be a hot air balloon enthusiast and you want to talk about that, or maybe you do knitting professionally. Whatever it is, whatever something that you want to tell us that is like really cool to you, really interesting to you, you think other people need to know about.
Or a hobby or something that you're. Yeah.
Or just give us like what you're binge watching on TV, or
You're the master. You can tell us whatever
tell us
you want.
anything.
Woodworking.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's
Do
talk
it.
about it.
I love woodworking. I'm currently really learning. I'm
Yeah.
channeling my Nick Offerman.
Yes.
Ron
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Can you do Ron Swanson?
Oh God, you're killing me, man. It's just like, all right. Oh God. No, I can't do it.
Okay,
right now.
yeah,
That's fine.
So what level though? Because are you like you're building dressers? Like is it like furniture?
So
are you?
my best friend Andres, I've known the guy for 20 years now. He got me into woodworking because he was just the tool guy. He just loved, you know, to buy tools and like just make stuff.
Yeah.
And the stuff he made in the beginning was just horrible. Like, you know, it was very rough cut, lots of screws, you know, like, you know, if it needed to be put together, put a screw in there, you know.
Right.
Now he's learned how to do dovetail joints. He knows how to do mortise and tenon joints, box joints, like all these different kinds of things. And now he's like, I always felt like I was like learning the craft, and then he just surpassed me. And I was like, son of a bitch, now I got to catch up to you, you know?
Right.
But he just made this amazing bar top like piece for another friend of ours. And I was like astounded when I saw it. I was just like, dude, I didn't even know like the level of talent that you've gained. Like, I guess we just haven't worked like in that medium for a long time. And so that's something that I love to do because it's a lot like vinyl. You know, we work in a digital space all day. I'm staring at a screen all day. I don't put pen to paper rarely ever, except for when I can find time to sketch in my sketchbook.
Right.
Woodworking, the warmth and the smell and the taste, you know, you saw wood, you taste that wood, you smell the oils, and it's just such a gratifying feeling. Going back to Breaking Bad, if you remember the scene where Jesse is like cooking meth as a slave for the Aryan Brotherhood.
Right.
And he imagines himself like cutting a piece of wood and, you know, planing a box, you know, making, it's just like that
just
whole
the
feeling.
Serene.
Exactly.
You're creating something with your hands and
Well,
when you can look at something, a piece of furniture, and say like, oh, that's black walnut. Oh, that's mahogany. You know, like that's such just a feeling of like knowledge.
Right.
Like, makes me great.
That whole area, and it's so broad too. Like some people are deep into woodworking and it's only like joinery. Like they'll spend all their time like, here's this, you know, 400-year-old method of like making these joints and putting this together.
Some
my
people
father
are just
actually,
stain nuts.
Yeah, my father actually he builds furniture. That's what, and not like he doesn't sell anything. He just he's just been building furniture and like giving it to his kids, you know, type thing.
That's so awesome.
And so like our dining room table my dad built, and our TV stand my dad built, and so I've got to be around it some because of him. But I think it just feels. It's a weird way to say it, but it feels like more of a authentic craft as opposed to like doing something digitally.
Totally. I got another buddy who just mills wood. He goes to people's houses and says, hey, do you want that tree? It looks like it's, you know, like they're like, yeah, sure. You know, you can rip it out. Like by all means, he rips it out for free and he takes the wood, makes big full slabs and big cookies and stuff, and he sells them for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars.
Have you done any wood turning?
I do have a lathe. I have like an old grizzly lathe.
Yeah, nice.
I want to do that.
It's an 18-inch lathe, and the belt keeps falling off, so it's a huge pain in the ass to work on. But at the end of the day, like the first time I did it, I made a tiny little bat. Like probably about 6 inches long. And I wrapped some
like a
concrete,
billy club.
Exactly. I wrapped some concrete strap wire for
little
rebar.
Lucille.
I made a Lucille.
Nice.
I made a little Lucille.
Wow.
Put it on myself, and sometimes I use it as a muddler when I'm making a drink.
Hey, nice.
Tell everybody where they can find you. They can follow you. They can support what you're doing.
At Marker Arts on Instagram, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter. I mean, mostly just Instagram, like most artists nowadays.
Sweet.
But markerarts.com, it's currently down because I have a full-time job, and you don't start working on your portfolio until you're looking for a new one. So at least my work knows that I'm dedicated.
That's a good spot to be.
First time.
Thanks so much for chatting with us and for the impressions and putting yourself out there. Hope you have an incredible rest of your day here at Crop.
For sure. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.